Jesus didn't have a problem with people that's in the streets. He had a problem with religious people.
How can I help anybody when when I was not even able to help my own son?
I would never do that. I would never do that. And I became that in a matter of minutes when they took my pain pills away.
And I said, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not what I used to be.
This is Faith in Your Recovery. I am Randy Davis. Welcome to the battle. Greetings, and as always, we appreciate you tuning in and turning on to our program today. We're going to share with you from a little different angle here in a few moments, but before we do that, we hope you'll subscribe. Hey, we've even got our QR code on here. If you have a heart to want to give and help support us financially, we would welcome that, but we're just glad you're listening in. Our guest today is a friend, and we've even become closer here in the past year and a half, too. We'll hear more about that in a minute. Our guest is Gary Hines. Welcome, Gary.
Thank you.
Hey, it's good to have you with us. Let's just go ahead and why don't you tell the folks how we met and how we connected here in the last couple of years?
Okay. Well, that would have been through the Jay County Jail. Your services that you have there at Brianna's Hope, and that was kind of where it started at. Through that's where the relationship kind of grew.
Yeah. And so, like I said, that was about 18 months worth, I'm going to guess, yeah?
Close to that, yeah. It was close to 14 months. 14 months.
We'll go with 14 months then. But we were able to be a good support to each other. We appreciated your being involved with the programming we offered. You mentioned the Better Life, Brianna's Hope, but I think you were also part of the MRT. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That was...
Tell the folks what MRT is.
The MRT class is a moral recognition class. A lot of cognitive stuff, a lot of things to, push the morals kind of thing. That's the way I took it anyway. Step by step, kind of week by week thing. It breaks stuff down, different thought processes, kind of see where you were, see where you want to be.
What did it do for you?
Oh, it opened up a gigantic book of self-help is what it did. I can't tell you how many books I read after getting through that class.
So was it just a matter of wanting to continue that type of improvement? Is that why you started doing all that reading?
Yeah, it opened my eyes to a lot of things that I was leaving out of my life, things I was hiding from. A lot of I guess it just comes down to all of it, the chasing lifestyle of not caring, numbing feelings, all of it. Just
that's the impact to this. It helps you refill for that time that you lost.
Yes, sir.
With positive behaviors and whatnot. So it's kind of a retraining for that, or at least catching up from what you missed out on. That's led by Candy Sapp out of our office. That was a weekly event, as I remember. Mm-hmm. And then with A Better Life, Brianna's Hope, we're in there weekly with that as well. Support and recovery group for those battling the battle with substance use disorder or addiction. You're a big part of those. I know, too, you were one of the recipients of some of the guests we were able to bring in.
All of them, and continue those relationships even now today. Cool. It's big fans of the guys that you brought in with the what do you call it, the Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
Even the personal relationships that I've continued, through with you and I and Candy and through the Drug Coalition. It's an amazing thing. It's a lot of that stuff I didn't know was even out there, and there is so many different doors that can be opened if you just reach out there and grab one.
Doing that can certainly bring about change to your life in a very positive way.
It sure has. It definitely has.
I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm going to do it. Go ahead and tell us some of those hip hop artists that you just felt a connection with. You liked their story, their
Redeemed.
style.
I really like him. Nikki Gracious and Jay Truth, Levi, cutting hair and stuff. All of them. I go to Marion every Friday night and see Zach. I think it's OTC or something.
OTG.
G. Sorry, Zach.
OTG Zico.
Yeah. It's great. It's really neat. It's the concert they had last month, I think it was. When was that? October, the 26th of October. Awesome turnout. I'd had no idea that there was that big of a recovery community until I got myself put into it, and I don't want to get out of it.
Yeah, it's, you know what? I don't have that necessary need, but I have a need to be there because they just have so much to offer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The scriptural impact they give, their songs, their transparency, they're genuine.
Yeah.
And they travel miles to give of that and
All
share.
over.
And it works.
Yes,
I
it does.
can assure that. So, Gary, why were you incarcerated? Why were you in jail?
I got a drug possession charge and a battery charge. I tried to kill myself by forcing an overdose, lost complete control, and hurt somebody that, at that time I cared for. I don't want to hurt nobody, and it just stuff gets bad.
Yeah.
And you run from it far enough and hard enough, you don't know which way to turn around to look for help.
Or you run into the wall at some point, right?
Head on.
Head on, yeah, yeah. I want to concentrate more on the drug aspect.
Okay.
We respect you sharing the other charges, but we're more about the recovery and the addiction. So go ahead and share with us how you got started, what your first, drugs were, how old you were, and if you have any inkling, why you got started.
Okay. Just probably a early teenager, smoking pot, sneaking off, drinking some beers with my buddies. High school led into a little bit heavier stuff. Where I grew up up in Illinois, there was a lot more to offer. There was acid and opium and weed, different kind of pills. Throughout high school, that was a thing.
For you, was it peer pressure, or were you trying to soothe a wound? Do you know?
I don't really know what it was. I had plenty of friends. I did plenty of things. It was just something to do. I wasn't trying to fit into anything. I've always kind of in and out of friends, how, normal life kind of thing. But, no, I don't want to say at that point in my life, I wasn't trying to hide from anything. I was just going with the flow. And then when I got into my 20s, I got myself involved in a motorcycle club. And that just opened the door for crazy amounts of drugs and alcohol
Multiplied
use.
and
It just
magnified everything.
stomp on the floor and hold on to something. Continued that for a long time.
How long?
Oh, till about 5 years ago.
Okay, so how many years is that? Approximately
20.
15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Anyhow. Okay.
Yeah, it's always been a part of my life, I guess, is that end of it. At that point, I was kind of running from myself. It was not really looking to see who hurt me or why, but it was just something to do, fit in with a group of people that were kind of all like-minded, and it just progressed into even more drug abuse and alcoholism. And then when all the way up to, like I said, well, 5 years ago, that's when the bottom really started falling out.
Tell us about that bottom. What'd that look like?
Just messing up work, not just changing who I was as a person. My attitude was towards people was changing, towards myself. The respect I had for others was running out, and the same goes for myself too. I just didn't care anymore. 3 years ago, I moved back to Indiana with a huge chip on my shoulder, thinking I don't know anybody, anything, and everybody owes me. And I pressed the boundaries of that. Like I said, I came in with a chip on my shoulder. I was bigger, meaner. I've done more. I've been there, 10 times faster. I was that guy. And like you said, I ran straight head on into a wall. And
what'd that wall look like?
A toxic relationship is what you could pretty much pinpoint every single thing about it. From narcissistic behavior to lying, gaslighting, just not being dependable. It's just all the way around. And I let that just drive a bus that was out of control. And I got into doing meth, and prior to that, backstory on the meth thing, I used to dump it out. If it was offered to me, I'd dump it out. I didn't want it around me. I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing. I would take what you had and I'd dump it on the floor. Then, like I said, 3 years ago, coming back, I had said to what I thought was a friend of mine then, I want to go see the moon. And I started walking on it. I didn't come down.
You meant to visit, not stay,
yeah,
right?
no, I did. I built a house there and started driving steaks.
And had your mail coming.
That's it. So, and then that all led me into, what happened last August, or, well, a year ago, 2024. And that's where the bottom just caved in, and now that's...
What did incarceration do for you, good, bad, or ugly?
It was the smack in the face I needed.
Say that again, please.
Yeah, it woke me up. It smacked me right in the mouth, and it was time to pay attention or get out of the way. You know what I mean? So, and I opened them doors up, and I went into it head first with no reservation. I wanted that help. I wanted to get better. I wanted to have these different tools to use, and once I figured out how to use them, it's not that bad.
So you were ready for help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was the lights on moment, do you think, for you? Was it the sentencing? Was it prior to that? What was it that truly made you recognize, if I'm going to live life, I'm going to have to change my life?
The first round of when I had gotten my discovery packet and they listed off the charges. That was not sentencing so much, but yes, along that was the amount of damage. It could have been 40 years. So
finding out you were going to have that time, you decided you didn't want to add to it at any point in your life.
I accepted the fact that was a possibility of, spending the rest of my life in prison. I mean, I would, if I'd have made it out of there, I'd have been pushing, 90. And so, don't think I'm going to go that long. Hope I do. But, yeah, that was the point where it's like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. If I'm going to be in prison or if I'm going to be in jail, whatever, I'm going to try to do better for, not just for myself, my family. They deserve it. They've for whatever reason, they've always been there for me. So
I think the key to that, you already said it, they are family.
Yeah.
They may have moments to where they're extremely disappointed, upset.
Oh, I should have gotten an award for that.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're still there.
Yeah, I got some good people on my side now that I always knew that I had them there, but I just never turned around to see.
You never let them be there.
So
yeah. So okay, so that light comes on. you decide you're going to step up, you're going to move forward with opportunities to better yourself. And a part of that was through A Better Life, Brandon's Hope, part of it through MRT, part of it through other, wisdom and knowledge that you gain from other organizations there during incarceration. So it sounds like you did your best to make the best of the time you had there.
Yeah, I wish it wouldn't have taken jail to get me there, but, like I said, I'm grateful for it, and I hate saying that. I hate saying I'm glad I went to jail to figure out that I need to get my life together, but it needed to happen.
The fact is the fact, all right?
Can't
We'll
deny
agree on that. Yeah. As you look back, you wish it had been differently, but obviously we all need a different size, too, before when we're smacked up the side of the head. And it took a jail shape when you get your attention.
Yes, it did.
evidently.
And it did. It opened my eyes to a lot of things. Seeing what you guys have done for people in the community, hearing the fellas tell their story and the things, and it's like, man, I can relate to all of this.
So what is the difference in the Gary of today versus the pre-incarceration Gary?
I care now. I think that anybody and everybody has a shot. Before it was just get out of my way. I'm coming through the door no matter who's on the other side of it. Now I'm gonna knock first and kind of see what happens, and take somebody else's word for what it is, and give them the benefit of the doubt. Genuinely care what happens to someone, so.
I'm hearing the old Aretha Franklin, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, okay?
Right.
Because you knock on the door, asking permission to enter
That's
or
right.
to converse or to become a part of it instead of forcing yourself into that moment.
That's what it was.
Thinking you have to take charge and all. What today, what's a couple of those things you're most proud of with Gary? You've already mentioned you wish you didn't have to go to jail. You've mentioned those, I don't know if we're going to call them shame moments or whatever, but what are the positive things that really give you more pride in yourself and help you move forward?
Acceptance is the main one. After hearing everybody's story, it's kind of like, I'm another story, but I'm not, and theirs isn't just another story. It's a life thing that happened and where it led them to. My self-respect, my self-worth, and how I value myself is through the roof now. You're not going to rain on my parade, and that's where I'm at now. Good, bad, or ugly, one step at a time, so being able to meet a challenge head on instead of having a hard day, go to the bar. The bar turns into 2 a.m. and you got to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to work. That doesn't happen anymore.
So what do you do if it's a bad day? How do you deal with that instead of turning to the booze or the drug, whatever the case may be?
When I had first gotten out, those rough days were a lot more reoccurring right
Tell
out of
them
the
folks
gate.
how long you've been out.
I got out October 6th.
Of 2025.
Just 2 months ago.
Just 2 months and a few days
The
here,
first
folks,
week
so
was
he's
brutal.
fresh at this.
I didn't know what to do. I wasn't at work, and I told myself I'm going to take a few days to get reacclimated, I should have, well, it's not that I didn't. The union guy my whole life, I've always leaned on that as a crutch. If you want a job, there's a good high-paying job. They didn't have no work for me, so I didn't know what to do. Sat there, got into my head, the hard days, I got into every single recovery group I could find Monday through Friday. And I went to them religiously. That's what carried that weight when I first got out. And then things started happening to where doors were opening, people were calling.
Positive things.
Different job opportunities, and then You know, I landed the job I'm at right now. I have no complaints. The hard days are just met with you know, I talk to God every day, you know, throughout the day. It's not just pray in the morning, pray at night. It's give my thanks all day long.
Tell us about some of your spiritual growth, what that's looked like, how it's come about, where you are, where you're headed.
I walk with God every day now. Where I was always believed in God. You know, we weren't a big church-going family, but always knew. Just never really seen, you know, the don't step there's and be careful, don't go that way. Just kind of step there and go that way. But I had a fella tell me a thing about a story that he had heard through one of his meetings was that, you know, this guy had said that his God, his Jesus, is a quadriplegic and he pushes him around in a wheelchair. And I'd taken that and I thought about that. I was like, that's a great thing, man, because, you know, you're taking God with you in all your daily events, your walks in life and all that. And going to be uphill sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be downhill with curvy roads ahead. Mine was, I was walking, pushing this wheelchair through a beach, you know, ankle deep in the sand.
Not easy.
No. And I didn't make it easy. That's the road I chose. I wanted to go walk in sand. It's, you know, trying to walk forward but taking backward steps. Spiritually now, I'm grateful, you know, that God didn't put me in prison for the rest of my life. You know, I don't know what he's seen in me, but he had to have seen something, because when I got blessed with what I got blessed with, it was life-changing event. So, and I got nobody to thank but God from that, because it wasn't up to anybody but him. Like I said, growing up, we didn't do church. I'd gone a few times here and there throughout my adulthood, but nothing fancy. But I haven't missed a church since I've been out.
That's awesome, dude. That's a big step. And whether you're walking out of incarceration, you're walking out of the tomb that you've allowed yourself to live in because of your behaviors, whether you're walking out of a relationship, regardless of what it is, the best place to walk is with him.
Yes, sir.
Whether you're pushing a wheelchair through the sand up a hill or into the water, okay? And just keep pushing.
Got to every day.
Absolutely. You know, I liked earlier as you were speaking about what you do with a bad day today, and it boiled down to
You give it to God.
you deal with it. Yeah.
You give it to God and just keep going forward.
And pray for a better day tomorrow, right? And that's for all of us. You know, you don't have to be someone who's been in addiction to experience a bad day. The scriptures say in this life you will have trouble. Stuff's going to happen, whether you cause it or somebody else causes it, or the tire just goes flat when it's the least, you know, convenient time it could possibly be. We've got to deal with it then. But that scripture goes on to say, but don't worry about it. That's Jesus speaking, have overcome the world. And he'll help you overcome it. He says we're more than conquerors in him. I'd like to think of it as, you know, we've walked that darkness, and with him the lights come on. It doesn't mean every day's going to be bright and cheery and fuzzy. Not at all.
It does make it better.
It does
make it better.
That's the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Just have a little faith in it. That's even if you don't want to be like, oh, going to church all the time, you give it a little bit and you'll see it.
Yeah, it starts with a seed the size of, or it starts with a pinpoint the size of a mustard seed, which is
a pinpoint.
A pinpoint, yeah. You can take 100 of them and almost see them. Okay, they're that small, but that's life, and that's the way it's gonna be, and that's the way we deal with it through there. What is it, if you could go back and speak to Gary at the age of, you know, your 20s, because that seems to be a very traumatic time for you as far as drug usage and
Yeah.
everything. What would you tell the Gary of that time? Because as you speak to him, you're going to be speaking to somebody else who's listening here to this podcast today.
It's a tough one, Randy. I'd grab him first off. No, I don't really know what I would say if it could do the Christmas Ghost to Christmas Past
There you
guy.
go.
That's how I'd want to do it, just to go stiff him in the window and be like, look, pay attention. But no, there's better things out there. You don't have to run to drugs to fit in. You don't have to think that you're this type of person that needs to be in a group of people that has to be this way. Big, bad, mean, ugly. Ride motorcycles. I love my motorcycles and I love my friends, but I was searching for something that wasn't there,
And that neither one would fulfill.
right, and it left me more empty in the long run. So I guess if I had to see my 20-year-old self, I'd just give him a hug and be like, "You got this. Just stay on this path. Don't go that way. Come back over here."
I'm going to ask you a similar question, and it goes back to one of your responses from earlier. You talked about how your family's always been with you and how, regardless of the moment, they were there to support and care.
Yeah.
Even if it was hard at that particular instance. What, if you could set them all down here in one room and speak to them, what would you say to them, Gary?
I'd apologize. And I've had this conversation with this group of people in a room.
Good.
My family's not huge. We're very tight. There's only a few of us that are really close together. And I hope they're listening now, because I couldn't have done where I'm at now without them, just knowing that they're there. Thank you. Thanks for not giving up on me. Because I give them 110 reasons to wash your hands.
Isn't that Jesus? How many reasons have we given him
Too many.
to turn his back or to walk away? We probably give him that many in a day.
Oh, I give that to him in 10 minutes.
I was giving you the benefit of the doubt,
I appreciate
pal.
it. I appreciate it.
All right. You're saying there is no doubt.
No.
So, no, that's all good.
Yeah.
But to be able to do that and to know it sounds like you've already done that. Says
Definitely.
something
I'm
about you.
Living amends every day. Every day.
Something about them. Wow. Big stuff. Speak to the individual who is in your shoes as a 20-something, okay? What would be the advice? What would be the advice you'd give them? They're heavy into this. They're into their own gang, whatever it looks like, motorcycle group or any other kind of group. What would you say?
That's a tough one. It's hard to say that, Randy, because every individual's different, whatever their situation might be. There's some people might have grown up in that environment, so it's all they know. Somebody like myself that didn't grow up in that environment, I don't want to sit there and say it was a bad thing, because it wasn't a bad thing. There were some things that happened, yeah, but it's not what TV puts it out there as. 20-year-old person in my spot is, if you struggle with a mental kind of disability or an illness, not disability, depression, whatnot, go get some help. Go talk to somebody. If you're blowing off work to go see your guy to get a bag, reach out. Go talk to somebody in a sober community. Get involved in the community. First off, it's a way better thing. But because it doesn't lead anywhere, you You know, I tell some of the young boys in jail, it's either you could be a gangster for life. There's only two places you'll be. It's a box or bars. That's it.
Yeah.
You're going to be behind bars or you'll be in a box. And that's the truth of the matter. You're not, you don't, Al Capone didn't make it, you know?
The best of
He
them
is.
don't
They
make
didn't.
it.
It's either box or bars.
Yeah.
So,
What kind of plans do you have for the future, Gary? Yeah.
I'm just right now just to get back financially good, get back work, getting all that good stuff going on. Future wise, I want to remain into the sober community. I want to get more involved in it to the point where I've thought about kind of going off on my own, doing my own little recovery center, just another outreach for the community. Just to stay in it. It's done so much for me. I can't
You want to
turn
pay
away from it.
back.
Right. So,
You know, understand that a Better Life brand is Hope's there to help you in any way we can.
sure.
Whether it's you working through your own program, recovery system of a type, or whether you want to come alongside with us, the door's open. I'll state that
Yes, sir.
publicly here, okay?
Thank you, sir.
And I have a little authority with that, being the founder and executive director. So
I know
yeah.
where your office is at.
Yeah, you've been in there a time or two, and we welcome
Yes,
that
sir, I
each
have.
time. I know that you've been very transparent with us, which helps us in our trying to help others.
That's
Becau-
another thing. It's once you get in this, it's the worrying about what people say. I've been told worse by bigger.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
you can try to cut me down, but you're just gonna wear your axe out. And
That I have no desire to do that, number one. Number two, at my age and level, I don't want to waste energy on fighting a worthless battle.
right. It's just that's where it's at.
What's
It's-
it going to prove? That I'm better than you?
Right.
Only in my own head. No.
You're not winning.
Yeah. So there's no reward at the end of that rainbow. I don't see a pot of gold, okay?
The transparency in it is the most amazing part of it is through this whole recovery thing I've been through is I don't have to be ashamed of myself. You want to look at me with a cross eye, go ahead. You know, I know where I came from and I know the ground I've covered since, and you can't take an inch from me.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know where you come from,
That's it.
and we can't take an inch of ground from you
Nope.
for the progress you've made.
That's right.
We just want to come alongside and be able to use that progress
Absolutely.
to help others, and it takes an entire community.
Yes, it
You know,
does.
the old community to raise a child, think village to raise a child, think, yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
But it's also to help somebody in recovery, it takes a village. And what benefit is it for me to negate anything positive you've done or to discourage further growth? Because you may be or may not be growing like I think you should at the rate or the style. That shows you how much my opinion does not matter.
Right.
It's in you, and to see the difference that's been made. What's going to keep you on the straight and narrow? I know you've come into that relationship with Christ, and you've got these past experiences you don't want to go through again, but how are you going to stay from sinking back into that hole?
Well, yeah, you can all lean down on that, change your people, places, and things.
We wear that out on here, but it's true.
You can't do that. I've tried. You know, I don't go to bars. You know, I'm planning a trip back up north after the first of the year. I don't really know what we're all going to do because that's what we did. We went to the bar and we played. Whatever it is, I want to sit down and have a dinner with my friends. You know, that's to stay in the community now or stay in my recovery. I wake up every day and promise myself, today I'll be sober. I can't do anything about tomorrow, and I'm not going to worry about yesterday. But today, I'm sober. So
How many days has that been? How long have you been sober? And
if you want to
can't
count the
do days-
incarceration, 470 something days.
and we count the incarceration.
So 14 months there, and October 6th till today.
So you're almost at the
500-day mark, almost within
Yeah.
15, 20 days.
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we're anxious to see that grow and to see you grow with it.
It's a lot better. It's no more headaches, no more weird, tired. There's, I eat on a regular basis. it's a lot better.
All those things that
a lot better.
those of us do who've never dealt with that situation.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 days no food and 2 hours of sleep, and it's just so bad. It's all
Yeah.
bad. And anybody that's been down that road knows that headache. So
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
not fun. It's not fun.
I can tell you for sure that it means something to me to have you as a friend and to know we can openly discuss this situation.
I appreciate that.
That I hope you've never sensed any arrogance
None.
from me. I've not sensed any undue shame from you or unwillingness. No, I want to hide that. I don't want to mention that. And I know time, that'll grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nice to know this sounds selfish, but ABLBH, has a resource like you to draw upon.
You
That-
guys started it for me.
Well-
I didn't know things like this existed. Never even tried to find it. I mean, I'm sure if I, jump on Google or whatever, I can find anything I
Sure.
want. But it was handed to me on a golden platter.
Well,
And
thank you for accepting it. You can still throw it off the platter.
yeah, no, I
okay?
ate it with both forks.
Yeah, you did. You had both hands
That's
going,
it.
all right? And that's an awesome thing.
It is.
And having you as a part of our resource team gives us another chance to reach that next person. Maybe there's similarities that you can relate to that others won't be able to, but I'm sure we can find ways together we can support you and help you to
So I'm looking forward
continue
to it.
pay
Like-
back.
I'm truly looking forward to that, Randy. You and I have had this conversation a few times that I want to be involved.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm waiting. I'm here, and it's whatever you guys need. Please, you guys got my phone number. Call me.
We'll do it, and we'll stay on top of it. And we're close enough. We can run into each other
Yeah.
at the local convenience store and
Yes,
chat it
sir.
up and
Yes, sir.
keep it casual.
Or the car wash, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was busy one day vacuuming out my car, and I heard somebody holler, "Hey, Randy!" Didn't recognize the voice at the moment. Looked over, it was Gary, so we stood and talked a while.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
as my quarters ran out on the vacuum, so you owe me, I think, $1.50.
Uh-oh.
All right,
I think I got a couple quarters on me.
all right. We'll make up for it sometime.
All right.
Anything you want to wrap this up with, Gary?
If you're out there struggling and you got some on your mind, or just pull the things out of your pocket, throw that in the garbage, and go get some help, because it's out there.
That's simple.
It's
That-
not a hard process. Getting over yourself is the hardest step.
Getting over yourself. Amen to that. For so many of us in so many situations, I've found out over the years, as they
Pride.
used to say, our worst enemies ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get over ourselves, we can conquer and become all Christ has created us to be. Gary, thanks for the drive.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to be a part of this. Thanks for sharing so raw and honestly. Folks, thank you for tuning in. And you know what I'm going to say next, that phrase, stay in the battle, 4 simple words. But by doing so, you can become the winner, the victor you've been created to be through Christ, and you can be the one sharing your story. We would welcome that. God bless. Take care. Thanks for listening. Amen.